Everyone right now is talking about AI coding agents, Claude Code, MCP servers. But when a company actually needs someone to wire Claude into a real product with streaming, caching, guardrails, and an agent loop that survives contact with production, the pool of people who can prove they know how to do that is tiny. That gap is exactly what Anthropic is targeting. They have launched a certification for it, the Claude Certified Developer Foundations level, or CCDV-F, and it is shaping up to become one of the most valuable developer credentials you can get right now. In this video, I will break down what this certification actually covers, who it is for, how hard it really is, how to prepare, and whether it is worth your time and money. So, let's go. Why does this cert matter? When most people hear Claude, they think of a chatbot. Behind that chatbot, Anthropic has quietly built the deepest developer platform in AI, an API with streaming, vision, and prompt caching, an agent SDK that runs full agent loops for you, Claude Code living in your terminal, and MCP, the Model Context Protocol, the open standard that is becoming the USB port of AI tooling. Companies are adopting this stack at a ridiculous pace. Accenture alone has 30,000 people in Claude training. Cognizant has 350,000. And forward-deployed engineer roles built around exactly these skills are paying between $250,000 and $600,000 base. The demand is real, and until now, there was no clean way to prove you have these skills beyond pointing at your GitHub. So what is the Claude Certified Developer Foundations certification? It validates that you can build, integrate, and ship real applications on the Claude platform. By passing it, you prove that you can integrate Claude through the API and the official Python and TypeScript SDKs, including streaming, image input, and error handling. You can build agents with the Claude Agent SDK, operate Claude Code properly with claud.md files, settings, and skills, and write prompts that hold up in production. You can pick the right model tier for a job and control cost with caching and batch processing. And you can build custom tools and MCP servers with guardrails that survive hostile input. Every one of those is a shipping skill, which is what separates this exam from certifications that quiz you on vocabulary. Now the exam specs. You get 53 questions, all of them scored, and 120 minutes, which comes out to a little over 2 minutes per question. Scoring is scaled. You need 720 points out of 1,000 to pass. The exam is proctored, online or at a Pearson VUE test center, and it costs $125. There is no live coding, but many questions show you real request payloads and code snippets, so you will be reading code under time pressure. One detail worth pausing on. The credential is valid for 12 months, which sounds short until you hear the rest. Before it expires, Anthropic lets you renew with a free, non-proctored assessment on their partner academy. So you sit the hard proctored exam once, and after that, keeping the badge alive is a free yearly check-in. Who is this certification for? It is a great fit if you are a back-end or full-stack developer adding Claude features to a product, a platform engineer about to run agents in production, a developer who already uses Claude Code every day and wants formal proof of that skill, or an AI engineer who wants a vendor-backed credential on the hottest stack in the industry. Anthropic recommends 1 to 5 years of software engineering experience, plus around 6 months of hands-on time with Claude or a comparable LLM system. And you should be comfortable in Python or TypeScript. If you are non-technical, Anthropic has a separate associate track that covers the Claude.ai product side without code. And if you design systems for a living, there is an architect track as well. And I have a full video on that one. What topics are covered? This is where CCDV-F gets interesting, because the domain weights are brutally uneven. And if you study all 8 domains evenly, you are wasting half your effort. The monster domain is applications and integration at 33% of the exam. That is a third of your questions on Claude API mechanics. The required fields on every messages call, how streaming works, how image input works, prompt caching, batch versus real-time processing, and running Claude through Bedrock and Vertex with their different model ID formats. Second is model selection and optimization at 17%, which covers choosing between Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku on quality, latency, and cost, plus the settings that control reasoning depth. Third is agents and workflows at 15%, the tool use loop, subagents, and when to reach for the agent SDK instead of writing a raw loop. Then prompt and MCPs at 11%, tools and MCPs at 10%, and security and safety at 8%. And at the very bottom, Claude Code and evals sit at 3% each. Do the math on that. Half your exam comes from just the first two domains, while Claude Code, the most famous product in the whole lineup, is worth maybe 2 questions. Study to the weights. Now let me give you a taste of the actual depth, because this exam is current in a way that punishes anyone studying from old blog posts. Gotcha number 1. If you learn to control Claude's reasoning with a thinking budget in tokens, that knowledge is now a trap. On current models like Opus 4.8, the old budget token setting is rejected with a validation error, and the graded answer is adaptive thinking combined with an effort level. Temperature and top P are gone from the top-tier models as well. Gotcha number 2. Prompt caching only works if your cached prefix is byte-for-byte identical between requests. The exam will show you a team that rendered a timestamp into their system prompt and cannot figure out why their cache hit rate is 0. Gotcha number 3. Any scenario about processing 200,000 documents overnight is a batch API question. Batches run asynchronously at half the standard token price inside a 24-hour window, and most of them finish within an hour. And gotcha number 4. When the exam asks how to stop an agent from running a destructive command, the graded answer is a hook, a piece of your own code that inspects every command before it executes, because a polite instruction in the system prompt does not survive a prompt injection. Gotcha number 5. If your JSON trick is pre-filling the assistant's reply with an opening curly brace, that trick is dead. On current models, pre-filling the response is rejected with an error, and the graded answer is structured outputs, where you attach a JSON schema to the request, and the API guarantees the response conforms to it. And gotcha number 6. When a long-running agent starts pushing against the context window limit, the graded answer is compaction, a built-in mechanism that summarizes the earlier turn server side into a compact block that gets carried forward on later requests, so the run keeps going without losing the thread. If all 6 felt obvious to you, you are in good shape. If any of them surprised you, that is exactly the gap this exam is designed to find. So how hard is it? For a working developer who has actually shipped something with Claude, I would rate it moderate. Every question is scenario-based, so expect stems like, a team upgrades to Opus 4.8 and their requests start failing with a validation error. What changed? Or, cache read tokens stay at 0 even though caching is enabled. Find the bug. Or, one deployment of an MCP server runs next to the client and another runs on a central host. Which transport does each one use? The exam tests whether you have debugged these systems. If you have 6 months of real cloud work behind you, you are closer to passing than you think. If you have only prompted through a chat window, you have some building to do first. Try this one, in the exact style you will see on exam day. A tax filing service sends the same 8,000 token system prompt on every request. The team enabled prompt caching with a cache control breakpoint. Traffic is steady, and yet cache read input tokens stays at 0 on every single call. What is the most likely cause? Option A. The cache needs about an hour to warm up before reads begin. Option B. Prompt caching only works through the batch API. Option C. A per-request value, like a timestamp, is rendered inside the cached prefix, so the prefix bytes differ on every call. Option D. The system prompt is too long to be cached. Now we eliminate. Option A is fake plumbing. A cache entry is live as soon as the first request writes it, and by default, it survives for about 5 minutes, so an hour-long warm-up does not exist. Option B mixes up two separate features, because caching works on ordinary real-time requests. Option D has it backwards. Long, stable prefixes are exactly what caching is built for, and the constraint that does exist is a minimum cacheable length of around 1,000 tokens. Which leaves option C, and that is the graded answer. Caching matches the prefix byte for byte, so a single rendered timestamp at the top of your system prompt quietly turns every request into a cache miss. And that one dynamic line can cost you thousands of dollars a month, while the dashboard says caching is enabled. That is the level this exam plays at. And honestly, it is the level production plays at too. And this is how I would prepare. Step 1. Read Anthropic's own documentation on the Claude API, the Agent SDK, and the Model Context Protocol, because every fact on this exam traces back to those pages. And take Anthropic's official course on their Partner Academy. Step 2. Build. Because this exam is written for people who have shipped. On Preparato.com, we have hands-on projects that cover exactly this stack. You build a working Claude agent loop with safe termination, a full MCP server that Claude connects to as a client, a structured output extraction pipeline, and a headless Claude code review bot for CI, all in your own editor with your own API key. You submit your work, and it gets graded against a rubric with specific feedback on what you missed, so you know whether your agent loop would actually survive the exam's scenario questions. Each project takes about an afternoon, and together they cover the heaviest domains of the exam. Step 3. Drill under exam conditions. We also built 6 full-length CCDV-F practice exams, 53 questions each, mirroring the real domain weights, with an explanation behind every answer choice, plus a 500-card flashcard deck. Sit at least 2 of those tests with the 2-hour timer running, because time pressure is the part everyone skips in practice and regrets on exam day. What do you gain? After passing, you hold an official Anthropic certification as a Claude developer, and right now, that is a rare signal. AWS certifications live on millions of CVs, while Anthropic certifications launched this year, so early holders stand out in a way that gets harder every month. It gives you a stronger story for roles like AI engineer, agent developer, LLM platform engineer, and those forward-deployed engineer positions I mentioned earlier, which sit comfortably above traditional dev roles in compensation. And because the renewal is a free yearly assessment, the credential keeps its value without a recurring tax. So, is it worth it? My honest take? Yes. If you are building LLM features professionally, if your company is anywhere in the Claude ecosystem, or if you want vendor-backed proof that you have moved past copy-pasting prompts, $125 and a few weekends of focused prep buy you a differentiator, while it is still rare. And you can probably skip it if you never touch the Anthropic stack and never plan to, or if what you really want is machine learning theory, because this exam lives entirely at the application layer. Final thoughts. The AI job market increasingly separates the people who talk about agents from the people who ship them. And certifications like CCDV-F exist to make that difference visible on paper. If Claude is part of your stack, this is the credential I would get first. So, the last question is, are you planning to take this exam? Tell me in the comments. And if you liked this video, please like and subscribe. And see you in the next one.